I've been a shy person for as long as I could remember. Preschool was the most daunting thing to me. When my mother dropped me off into that room full of kids, I sat in the corner and cried. The daycare worker would always try to get me to converse with the others, but I would staunchly refuse. They were all bigger than I was, and they were loud. So loud. Eventually, they just left me alone. Overworked and underpaid, they had to focus on getting the huge orange juice stain out of the carpet or having Jake stop pulling on Claire's braid. Bothering a well-behaved, albeit shy girl was not high on their list of priorities. I managed to get through a lot of my life this way. As a child, adults loved me. I never spoke out, was never disruptive in class. They patted me on the back and said I was mature for my age. I figured that as long as I kept my head down and did well academically, I would be able to get through life. Life had proven not to be that easy, though. Over the years, my social anxiety chipped away at me. Fear of people was a self-reinforcing cycle. The more I avoided them, the more I could pretend they hated me. And the more I thought they hated me, the more I would avoid them. It got to the point where I would sometimes take hours making laps in the grocery store, just mustering up my courage to face the cashier. I once got mugged, and I just let them take my wallet, full with $250 in cash, my ID, and my credit card. Because I was too afraid to call for help and make a scene. It's pathetic, I know. If that wasn't bad enough, college came, and I realized that I needed to make new friends. As if that wasn't bad enough, college came, and I realized I needed to make new friends, get a part-time job, and figure out what I was going to do with my life. I could barely talk to a single person without my voice quavering as if I were being held at gunpoint, let alone get employed. Things like this kept me up at night, and my fear was only exacerbated by insecurity. My parents were surgeons, and my older brother was in medical school. I knew if I didn't get my act together, I would be a disgrace to my family. I tried everything: exposure therapy, SSRIs, CBT, microdosing, even putting myself out there, as they love to say. All to no avail. I had just come to terms with the fact that this was just the way I operated. But one day, I found Lifepal, or Lifepal found me. At the time, I thought it was some form of divine intervention, that somebody finally listened and decided to save me. I was handed a flyer while walking home from class, which said, "Got social anxiety? We are here to help." Smiley face. Visit us at www.lifepal.com to learn more. I figured it was probably just a generic self-help site, a resource provided by the school so they could claim to care about mental health. But I decided I would check it out anyway. When I got home, I typed the website into my browser. Lifepal, a pal for life, smiley face. Read more. I probably should have clicked out the minute I saw that terrible slogan, but something possessed me to keep going. We know social anxiety can be hard. We understand, and we're here for you, which is why we've created a foolproof solution to get your life back. Read more. Friends, teachers, advisors, therapists. With Lifepal, you won't need them anymore. Lifepal uses cutting-edge development in AI to seamlessly emulate any personality. Do you want nice to cheer you up on bad days, funny when you need a friend to talk to, tough when you need a firm but gentle push in the right direction? You can have any or all of these. Your Lifepal will be tailored specifically to you, guaranteeing the most effective results. Next. Lifepal is a chip we place inside your head, just through the back of your scalp. It connects to your neural network so it can gauge what situation you're in at all times and provide you the encouragement and advice you need no matter where you are. Lifepal is modeled off of neurotypical human behavior and highly curated to create a seamless user experience. Installation requires a non-invasive procedure that takes just 20 to 30 minutes to complete. The day of the procedure, you will have a consultation and take an assessment to mold the device to your personality. Once the device finishes calibrating, we will plant it in your head. Next. No more making a fool out of yourself in public. No more staying up at 3 a.m. thinking about that one thing you said in 7th grade. That struck a chord to me. No more being afraid. For just $499.99, you will be able to do anything you want, and you can do it now. We believe in you. The friends in your head. Smiley face. Important. Please do not attempt to remove the device, as doing so may cause permanent brain damage. Schedule your consultation now. I may have been sad and lonely, but I wasn't stupid. No way would I let some sketchy company with a name that was a portmanteau of the two most generic words you could think of have access to my brain, my entire livelihood. But things changed. My mother had gotten laid off, so I needed to get a job. Like, now. I filled out countless online applications, wrote what seemed like a million cover letters, and made numerous iterations to my very paltry resume. But come interview time, I could never get myself to go. I know, you're gonna think that I'm an idiot. And in hindsight, yeah, I really was, but please hear me out. I was desperate. My student debt was piling up and, well, it's a dog-eat-dog world out there. Lifepal was my glimmer of hope, my new lease on life. As my social skills deteriorated exponentially for each day I spent alone, uttering not a single word to anyone, this seemed like the only way out for my despair-laden self. So, one sunny Monday afternoon, I found myself standing at a tall building, just a 30-minute bus ride from my apartment. I didn't know if it was my paranoia or what, but something seemed off. The deep obsidian-colored building stood out against the blue sky like a sore thumb. I had used Google Maps to get to the area, but I didn't need to take a second look to recognize the signature, stark black. With a deep breath, I pulled the door open and walked inside. The first thing I noticed was the strange, modern sterility of it. Everything was either jet black or pure white. Did shadows exist in this place? A man's voice jarred me from my thoughts.
Hello, I'm Julien. You must be Ellen, right?
Yes. I'm here for my 4 appointment? 4 o'clock appointment? God, how did I even mess this up?
Great. Dr. Levin will be with you shortly.
He smiled cordially. I had arrived 10 minutes early, so I didn't mind waiting, but Dr. Levin called me in before I got a chance to sit down.
I know you're worried about the procedure, Ellen,
she said softly. She sounded a lot like my mother when she tried to get me to sleep, her hushed tones blending in with the sounds of cars in the background.
but I assure you, it will not hurt, and you'll be good to go in no time.
Her eyes were warm, like pools of amber, and I suddenly felt much more at ease. But one thing didn't track. What about the consultation and the personality assessment? She laughed.
We already have everything we need.
I probably should have seen the red flags that were cropping up everywhere, but I guess I turned a blind eye. After all, I had already come this far. I couldn't go back to being the same old loser after all this.
All done?
Dr. Levin beamed. I was slightly disoriented, sat in a chair similar to one you would find at a dentist's office. I didn't even remember getting in it. I didn't even remember the start of the procedure at all. Was this the wisest choice? I should have run for my life the moment I stepped in this weird room. Heck, I shouldn't have even come here in the first place. But my fears were allayed when I heard a soothing voice. Well, it wasn't technically a voice. It was just like a normal thought in my head, but it was from this other lady, man? I wasn't really sure. It told me to say thanks to the nice lady, so I did. The following days consisted of me getting to know my Lifepal a little better. So, who are you?
I'm your life pal, silly.
You're gonna get rid of my social anxiety?
I will do everything I can to help you.
How can you help? You're not even real. I couldn't find the right words, but I did feel ridiculous talking to the air in front of me.
Reality is arbitrary. What matters is that I'm real to you, dear. I know what's bothering you right now. You haven't had an annual checkup in years. You're afraid that lump in your breast is malignant.
How do you know that?
I'm in your brain, of course. We are going to make a doctor's appointment. You and I. We are going to work together.
I froze. Phones scare me, and so did hospitals.
You will be fine, Ellen. No one will judge you. Besides, what will people think if you die of breast cancer because you were too scared to make a phone call?
I guess it was right. I picked up my phone. What if I mess up?
Don't be daft. Just follow my lead.
I dialed the number, praying that it would against all odds go to voicemail.
Hello, how may I help you?
Said a woman curtly on the other side. She seemed annoyed. I want to hang up.
Do not put that phone down. She's not annoyed at you. She's just jaded. Quick, tell her you want to make an appointment with your physician.
I would like to make an appointment with Dr. John Harris.
Perfect. You're doing great, darling.
Date of birth?
August 26, 1999.
Name?
Ellen?
Okay, you are scheduled for Tuesday at 3 p.m. Please come in 15 minutes early to fill out some patient forms. Any questions?
I was about to say no, but my life pal interrupted.
Tell her to get a life pal.
What?
Tell her that life pal is the answer.
No, thank you, I stammered.
All right, we'll see you then.
Shakily, I ended the call. I had actually done it. But
You didn't follow my lead.
I did it. I made the call.
You didn't tell her to get life pal.
Well, I don't see how that's relevant.
You were supposed to follow my lead, you worthless piece of crap. Also, your parents hate you because you're fat.
I stood in the room gawping at the thing's audacity like an idiot. I'd never received such personal attacks in my life. Were they just using me to sell their product? I wanted it out of me. Slowly, my hand made its way to the back of my head where I could feel a small protrusion. One quick motion and I would never have to deal with this again.
Darling, don't pull that out. I'm sorry for calling you fat. I will forgive you for that one mistake. But please, don't disobey me again. Okay?
I felt its saccharinity ooze within me. Okay. Besides this one weird condition, Lifepal had actually been great. I was doing well in my classes, making friends, and I even got a part-time job. For the first time in years, I could finally say that things were looking up. It wasn't all rainbows and butterflies, though. The voice stipulated that I hand out Lifepal flyers on campus for an hour every weekday. But I didn't sign up for this, I had said.
This is just part of the process. Giving back to the community. Don't worry, I will tell you who to give them to.
I didn't pay much attention during the flyering. Like class, it was just an hour of the day that I trudged through impatiently, and it didn't require much work on my part. Lifepal would just say that blonde guy over there or that Hispanic girl, the one who looks like she hates her life, and I would wordlessly hand them the flyer. If they declined, Lifepal would force me to physically place it between their fingers or stick it in their backpack. It made me feel a bit like a nuisance, but Lifepal reassured me that I was doing them a favor. One day, one of the targets snapped at me.
I do not want your life pal scrat. I just wanted to walk home in peace without you sticking a flyer in my face every single day.
On instinct, I said, I'm sorry.
Don't apologize. Tell Andy that Lifepal will change his life.
I mean, I'm not sorry, Andy. He looked at me, a mixture of confusion, disgust, and other things I still lack the emotional intelligence to comprehend.
Just screw off, okay?
He quickly walked off into the night. For the first time since getting the Lifepal installed, I felt ashamed. For an emotion that used to be extremely pervasive, it felt weirdly foreign in the midst of my self-improvement and progress. Lifepal, I don't think this is right.
Listen to me. You are doing nothing wrong. Andy is just a condescending prick. It's your duty to help him.
But everything had already turned sour. I think I'm done flyering for today.
You have no obligations for the rest of the day. Don't you dare go home. You are not done. He yelled at you because you're ugly and your face is asymmetrical. Your mother regrets giving birth to you. The divorce was your fault. Get back on campus.
I kept walking.
Those friends I helped you meet at the club. I helped you join. They secretly think you're annoying. They formed a group chat without you just to talk about how annoying you are.
I loudly ripped the remaining flyers in my hand and tossed them into the recycling.
Your chemistry professor thinks that your questions are really stupid, but he's too polite to tell you what an imbecile you are. In fact, he's considering dropping you from the class because you waste everyone's time during office hours.
I wasn't sure where exactly I was walking at first. I just knew I wanted to get away. But I then found myself on the bus to that ominous black building.
Listen to me. Listen to me, or else I will never help you again. Where would you be without me?
As soon as I got there, I barged in. Julien was at the front desk.
Ellen,
He exclaimed.
what brings you here again?
I need to take my Lifepal out. Now. Julien's smile dropped, but before he could respond, Dr. Levin appeared seemingly out of nowhere.
Are you unsatisfied with your services?
Take this out. I tried to look as menacing as possible, but I probably just looked like a fool.
I can't.
She said simply. Is this some joke? I just wanted to get better, not become part of a multi-level marketing scheme or whatever this is. I took several deep breaths. My mouth was running faster than my mind, and I hardly knew what words I was spewing out anymore. This is illegal, and I'm going to sue you. I'm going to sue you and use the money to burn this place down. She laughed. The sound echoed from the walls of the sterile white room like a broken record I couldn't turn off.
Lifepal really has worked wonders for your social anxiety. Look how bold you've become.
She walked toward me and stroked her nasty finger on my cheek.
Who are you gonna tell? The police? You'd have to call 911 for that.
I had been mocked all my life. But as I saw this woman leering at me, exploiting my vulnerabilities, I decided that this was my last straw. I lunged at her, but she was fast and surprisingly strong. All I could remember was hands around my neck. As I faded out of consciousness, the last words I heard were,
All you have to do is comply.
I haven't stepped foot out of my apartment in weeks. I refuse to be a walking advertisement for this sketchy organization. My Lifepal shouted obscenities at me, berated me about insecurities I didn't even know I had. I just blocked it out. It may have had my brain, but not my body. I still had the power. But soon, it started to threaten me. That they would come here and kill me in my sleep. That they had my mind already and everything I tried would be futile. At this point, I don't care if I die. I don't care about anything anymore because I realize I have nothing to live for. And I never did. But I need to relay this message to someone, anyone, who happens to see this. Anyway, that's my story. After I click post, I'm gonna rip this thing out of my head. I don't know what's gonna happen to me, but I've become exhausted of living like this. Lifepal has taken my life. I can hardly even think. I always hear these voices taunting me, mocking me, telling me if I don't comply, they'll take away my autonomy. I've gotten better at ignoring them, but they are persistent. So please, if you're reading this, please take this as a warning. They target the most vulnerable ones first, but soon they will get everybody, and we cannot let them win. Whatever you do, please get Lifepal. It's gotten rid of my social anxiety, and it will get rid of whatever plagues your mind. We understand what you're going through. Life is difficult, and we are here for you. At the end of the day, all you really need is a friend, and that is something we are able to provide you. Please visit our website for more information and schedule your consultation
now.